In today's video, we're going to cover the possibility of Bitcoin hitting incredible heights. With a number of influencers and information online these days, finding good, trustworthy analyses on cryptocurrency can be a struggle. Everyone and their dog seems to guess how high the cryptocurrency will go. Cathie Woods, leader of the reputable ARK Invest, has a strong belief that Bitcoin will hit a value of $1 million by 2030. Stick around, because not only are we going to cover everything you need to know about Bitcoin and Cathie Woods' theory, but we are also going to share some guidelines for minimizing your risks as you invest in crypto. Hey everybody, and welcome to Profit Protection, your go-to source to stay up to date on what the thought leaders in crypto, fintech, and digital asset markets are doing. Okay, so who is Cathie Woods and why should we listen to what she has to say? Cathie Woods has a long and impressive career in financial markets and investments. She has made a name for herself throughout her career as a successful portfolio manager and chief investment officer. She even started her own hedge fund in New York City. Cathie managed $5 billion for AllianceBernstein as chief investment officer. After 12 years, she left to start her venture, which has made her famous across financial market conversations, ARK Invest. ARK ETFs are actively managed and focus on disruptive industries. Although she was well known in many circles beforehand, ARK's investment results have garnered plenty of attention. Because of her expertise in tracking down emerging and disruptive companies, her ETFs have seen great success. Her strategies are often different from traditional hedge funds and portfolio managers. This has gained her a large following on Wall Street and among retail investors alike. She has a great handle on public relations as well, stepping in front of the camera often to speak about her theories and strategies. In the not-so-distant past, Cathie Woods predicted that Bitcoin would hit a value of $500,000 per coin by 2026. According to her, the chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler, has a good understanding of Bitcoin and the benefits of a decentralized cryptocurrency. She seemed confident that, although regulators will certainly lay down some future rules, the state and federal departments will likely allow for Bitcoin to continue its growth and become more prominent. Alright, so Cathie seems to be a reputable source. What is her theory on a $1 million Bitcoin? Cathie and ARK Invest have recently released a report detailing why they believe that Bitcoin is destined to hit incredible heights. This year's Big Ideas 2022 Outlook report from the firm detailed many aspects of the crypto's growth. Cathie Woods believes that the blockchain technology is being spurred forward by the myriad of developments in finance and software. Not only this, but Bitcoin is growing at an alarmingly fast rate. Add to this the recent release of technologies like the Taproot upgrade and the Lightning Network, and you have a cryptocurrency that is becoming increasingly quicker and simpler to use. ARK's report showcases how far Bitcoin still has to go, despite having a market cap that is above $1 trillion. Compared to other popular assets like global real estate, bonds, and equities, Bitcoin has plenty of room to grow. It's also quickly gaining traction. Bitcoin's monthly settlement volume has overtaken Visa's monthly payment volume. That is huge. Furthermore, the report tells us that the Bitcoin's long-term holders are digging in deeper. For example, the cryptocurrency's long-term holder base hit a new record in 2021. More people are holding for longer, telling you that the attitude is shifting from the latest get-rich-quick opportunity to a more mature view. All of this is great, but the biggest boost will come as institutions and governments adopt Bitcoin more seriously. According to the research from Cathie's teams, 8% of Bitcoin is currently held by large firms and corporations. That's already a large piece of the pie, but this is only the beginning. These institutions are the forerunners in this space, proving to other businesses that storing cash reserves in Bitcoin can be an effective hedge against inflation. You might hear some groans and moans when talking about institutions scooping up Bitcoin, but the fact of the matter is this. When those who have the power to buy hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins at once begin to do so, the price will rise so rapidly that other organizations will be forced to do the same due to competing interests. If you're holding Bitcoin, when that cycle kicks into gear, you'll be pulled along for the ride, along with all the other retail investors who got in early enough. If Bitcoin were to pick up steam at this large of a scale, a $1 million Bitcoin will become more realistic than ever before. This is why Cathie Wood and the ARK Invest are comfortable theorizing that Bitcoin could reach such a value by 2030. Now this sounds great and all, but there's a reason why you're still watching this video instead of running to buy more Bitcoin. Maybe it's because you're still having doubts, which means you're a cautious investor. We like that. Before we take a look at some valuable tips that you can use to minimize the risk when investing in Bitcoin, let's go over some of the doubts that investors may have. Anyone worth their weight in cryptocurrency needs to know the perspective of both the bulls and the bears. So what could spell disaster for your Bitcoin? One main reason people may be afraid of a major Bitcoin crash is that a competing cryptocurrency or another form of investment could steal its thunder. If financial institutions or governments were to promote or adopt a separate cryptocurrency together, it could put the future of cryptocurrencies in peril. Another looming danger is government regulation. This is always a threat to any market, particularly emerging ones. Because governments are traditionally used to overseeing the finances of their populations, some may step into action to take back power. For example, China recently banned the mining, trading, and even pure speculation of crypto nationwide. In response to these concerns, Cathie Wood raised this point last year at the SALT conference. According to her, our working assumption from the beginning was that no regulator wanted to be blamed for preventing the next big technology breakthrough to happen in the US. Because of the freedom from the traditional financial system that Bitcoin offers, she may very well be correct. Any department or corporation in America that attempts to shut down the public's use of cryptocurrency would surely come under heavy fire from the people and media alike. In other countries with strict control over economic and free speech, like China, it is much easier for the governing body to enforce unfavorable regulations. Another common fear is simply volatility. You should definitely not invest money into Bitcoin that you might need in the short term. Investors must be able to ride the highs and the lows for years, possibly even decades to come, if they want to truly maximize the potential of their crypto holdings. So, investing in Bitcoin can be a bit scary. What can you do to minimize your risk when buying and holding cryptocurrency? I have some great tips for you, but first I have something to ask. If you found this video valuable in any way, show your support by liking and subscribing, so we can continue to bring you knowledge and news from the crypto space. For starters, any investment that can be liquidated or sold at a moment's notice is subject to volatility. Some years the price may steadily rise, while other years may seem alarming drops. If you look at the current chart for Bitcoin, you'll see that the most recent drop in price is nothing compared to how far it has come in the past 2 or 3 years, let alone in the past 5 or more. So what does this mean? It means you need diamond hands, a term you might have heard around the internet. Diamond hands mean you don't let your emotions get to you. You have an investment strategy and are willing to hold through the drops so you will benefit from the jumps. People lose money on Bitcoin because they buy when it is rising and has lots of hype. Then when it begins to drop, as is natural, they become afraid and sell to save money. If they had only held it for the long term, eventually the price would have risen to a new record and they would have been feeling great. There's always a chance you can take a disappointing loss, but other issues can surface. To prevent tragedies, keep these 3 tips in mind. Tip number 1, take extra precautions with your money. If you transfer your crypto to a physical wallet, buy a reputable device and write down your password in multiple safe locations. If you keep your Bitcoin on an exchange, make sure that it is trustworthy. Some exchanges even offer reimbursement if it falls victim to digital crime. Tip number 2, only invest what you can afford to lose. Despite the possibility of Bitcoin hitting over $1 million per coin, the inverse is also a real possibility. We are in unknown territory and the world is changing faster every day. No one can say for sure where Bitcoin will go, so don't put all your eggs in one basket. And tip number 3, be wary of suspicious Bitcoin schemes. Organizations often prey on uneducated investors to get them involved in interest-earning programs and other adjacent ways of profiting from your Bitcoin. These can be misleading and predatory, so it is your responsibility to do extensive research on any programs you may consider. So there you have it. If Cathie Wood and ARK Invest are correct, this could be a major opportunity for everyone. Now recently there's been a lot of talk about whether we are entering a bear market or not. And if you want to know more about that, and more importantly, how you can even profit from it, you should go ahead and watch this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to show your appreciation for our efforts, and consider subscribing to Profit Protection. Happy researching, invest safe, and invest smart. We'll see you on the other side.